Hello, all you film freaks and movie maniacs out there. My name is Nolan Carr, and I'd like to welcome you to the go-to podcast for all things cinema. But before you can ask any questions, just sit back, relax, as I present to you a Strawlane Studio Productions Critiquing with Carr. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another exciting edition of Critiquing with Carr here on Favorite Film Friday. As always, if you've enjoyed episodes such as this one, do us a favor by subscribing on YouTube, follow us on the audio platforms, clicking that thumbs up or like button so you can tell us you enjoy these episodes, turning on post notifications so you can stay up to date on those platforms when episodes release, as well as clicking at share so you can continue with the podcast with our friends and family. Also, if you want other ways to stay update the show, do us a favor by following us on Instagram at Critiquing with Carr. I say all that because on this week's very exciting edition of Favorite Film Friday, we're talking about the classic film Lawrence of Arabia. And with that being said, let's begin. This movie was directed by David Lean. The co-screenwriters for this film were Robert Bolt and Michael Wilson. This film was based off the book Seven Pillars of Wisdom by T.E. Lawrence, and the producer of this film was Sam Spiegel. The cast for this film is as follows: Sir Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, Jack Hawkins, Jose Ferrer, Anthony Quayle, Claude Rains, Arthur Kennedy, Omar Sharif, and Peter O'Toole. The cinematographer for this film was Freddie A. Young. The movie was edited by Ann V. Coates. The musical score was done by Maurice Jarre. The production companies for this film were Horizon Pictures. The distribution company for this film was Columbia Pictures. The film was released on December 10th of 1962. The runtime for this movie was 222 minutes for the original premiere and 260 minutes for the restored director's cut. The budget for this movie was $15 million, and the box office grand total for Lawrence of Arabia was $70 million US. The accolades for this film are as follows. At the Academy Awards, the film won for Best Picture, David Lean for Best Director, Ann V. Coates for Best Film Editing, Freddie Young for Best Color Cinematography, Maurice Jarre for Best Musical Score, John Cox for Best Sound Mixing, as well as John Box, John Stolen, and Dario Simoni for Best Color Art Direction. At the Golden Globe Awards, the movie won for Best Drama Picture, David Lean for Best Director, Omar Sharif for Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture, Peter O'Toole and Omar Sharif for Most Promising Male Newcomers, and Freddie Young for Best Color Cinematography. At the BAFTA Awards, the movie won for Best Film and Most Outstanding British Film, Peter O'Toole for Best British Actor, and Robert Bolt for Best British Screenplay. At the National Board of Review Awards, David Lean won for Best Direction. At the David D. Donatello Awards, Peter O'Toole won for Best Foreign Actor and Sam Spiegel for Best Foreign Producer. And finally, last but not least, at the Directors Guild of America Awards, David Lean won for Outstanding Directorial Achievement in a Feature Film. And now it comes time for one of my two favorite parts, which is an I list off the top 10 highest-grossing films for that year's release, being 1962's Lawrence of Arabia. Coming 10th place at the bottom of this list was The Interns. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures. Its total gross was $9.2 million US, and so is Michael Callan, Cliff Robertson, and James MacArthur. Coming 9th place on this list was Gypsy. It was distributed by Warner Bros. Its total gross was $11.1 million US, and so is Rosalind Russell, Natalie Wood, and Carl Malden. Coming 8th place on this list was Atari. It was distributed by Paramount Pictures. Its total gross was $12.9 million US, and so is John Wayne, Hardy Kruger, and Alyssa Martinelli. Coming 7th place on this list was To Kill a Mockingbird. It was distributed by Universal Pictures. Its total gross was $13.1 million US, and stars Gregory Peck, Mary Badham, and Philip Alford. Coming in 6th place on this list was Mutiny on the Bounty. It was distributed by Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer. Its total gross was $13.6 million US. It stars Marlon Brando and Trevor Howard. Coming in 5th place at the halfway mark on this list was The Music Man. It was distributed by Warner Bros. Pictures. Its total gross was $15 million US. This is Robert Preston, Shirley Jones, and Buddy Hackett. Coming in 4th place on this list was The Touch of Pink. It was distributed by Universal Pictures. Its total gross was $17.6 million US. It stars Cary Grant, Doris Day, and Gig Young. Coming in 3rd place with the bronze medal on this list was In Search of the Castaways. It was distributed by Buena Vista Distribution. Its total gross was $21.75 million US. And so is Marie Charvilliard, Haley Mills, and George Sanders. Coming in 2nd place with the silver medal on this list was The Longest Day. It was distributed by 20th Century Fox. Its total gross was $50.1 million US. And so it's John Wayne, Henry Fonda, and Robert Mitchum. And finally, coming in at number 1 with the gold medalist, the highest-grossing film for 1962 was Lawrence of Arabia. It was distributed by Columbia Pictures. Its total gross was $70 million US, and it stars Sir Alec Guinness, Anthony Quinn, and Jack Hawkins. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, my review of 1962's Lawrence of Arabia. Lawrence of Arabia, directed by David Lean, is a monumental film in cinematic history. It's one of those epic movies that blends sweeping visuals with a deep internal character study. The story follows T.E. Lawrence, a British officer who becomes a central figure in the Arab revolt against the Ottoman Empire during World War I. The film is a blend of grand storytelling, mesmerizing visuals, and stellar performances. First off, let's talk about the visuals. The film's aesthetic is nothing short of breathtaking. From the opening credit sequence, where the Columbia logo fades into a stirring motorcycle ride that leads to a tragic crash, you're immediately hooked. The desert landscapes in particular are captured with stunning precision, providing a vast and almost spiritual backdrop to the story. The wide-angle shots, especially the sunrise of the desert, iconic, drawing you into the world of Lawrence and his journey. Peter O'Toole's performance as T. Lawrence is at the heart of the movie, and it's easy to see why it's often considered one of the best in film history. O'Toole plays Lawrence with a complexity that's not often seen in characters of this nature. His internal struggle to reconcile these conflicting loyalties is what drives the narrative. O'Toole conveys this battle through subtle shifts in his demeanor and expressions, making Lawrence's transformation over the course of the film both believable and tragic. One of the most striking aspects of the film is Lawrence's character arc. He's not just leading military campaigns across the desert, he's going on a deeper, more personal journey. In addition to O'Toole, the supporting cast is stellar. Alec Guinness as Prince Faisal brings a restrained ability to his role. Though some of his portrayal can feel dated by modern standards, specifically the blackface used for the role, it's hard to ignore how captivating his performance is. He holds the screen with an air of dignity and plays a key role in shaping Lawrence's path, even if the film's racial portrayals leave something to be desired in today's context. Anthony Quinn as Adua Abu Tai, a desert chieftain, delivers one of the film's stand-up performances. He injects Adua with a lively, almost boisterous personality, and you're immediately drawn to him when he first appears on screen. Quinn's energy contrasts well with O'Toole's restrained performance, and their interactions add a dynamic layer to the film's exploration of leadership and trust. Omar Sharif, in his breakout role as Sharif Ali, plays his character with a quiet intensity, which balances nicely with the other, more flamboyant characters in the film. The costumes are worth noting too, especially the desert attire Lawrence adopts after receiving new clothes from Prince Faisal. This transition in appearance marks a pivotal moment in his journey, symbolizing his shift in allegiance and understanding. It's not just about the military uniform anymore. Lawrence's new wardrobe makes him appear as part of the landscape, as part of the people he now fights for. The film's score, composed by Maurice Jarre, is iconic. The music is stirring, especially during the more grandiose desert sequences. It's hard to overstate how well the music and the visuals work together to immerse you in the film's epic scale. That said, I do think the main theme is overused at times. It's a beautiful piece of music, but there were moments when it felt more like a musical crush than subtle emotional cue. Despite its many strengths, Lawrence of Arabia does have its flaws. One of the most significant issues lies in its pacing, particularly in the final hour. The third act of the film feels anticlimactic in comparison to the tension and excitement that build up during the first 2 hours. The final battle, though significant, doesn't provide the payoff I was expecting. It's more about strategy and politics than it is about visual excitement, and that's a bit disappointing given how tense the rest of the film is. Lastly, there's a certain racial insensitivity in the film, notably Alec Guinness's portrayal of Prince Faisal and some of the early interactions between Lawrence and the Arab leaders. But the performances are strong, these elements are hard to ignore with modern sensibilities. It's a reminder that even films revered as classics are not immune to criticism in today's cultural climate. In conclusion, Lawrence of Arabia is a great film, but not without its imperfections. The second hour is undoubtedly the best, filled with character development and intense moments of drama, while the final stretch feels like a slight letdown. The story of T. Lawrence discovering his own identity, struggling with his place in both the British military and among the Arabs, is one of the film's greatest strengths. Peter O'Toole's performance is the backbone of the film and should have certainly won the Academy Award for it. With that being said, I'm very proud to give this film, Lawrence of Arabia, a score of 8 out of 10 on the Diamond Dave scale. And with that being said, my film freaks and cinephiles, as always, if you've enjoyed episodes such as this one, do us a favor by subscribing on YouTube, following us on the audio platforms, clicking a thumbs up or like button so you can tell us you enjoy these episodes, turn on post notifications so you can stay up to date when new episodes like this release, as well as clicking on share out so you can help continue the podcast with our friends and family. Also, if you want other ways of staying up to date with the show, do us a favor by following us on Instagram at Critiquing with Carr. And with that being said, as always, take care, most importantly, happy viewing.